Google made us smarter, AI might not. A few days ago, I revisited a conversation I had with AI about 8 months ago. What struck me wasn't the information, it was the feeling. It was almost as if I had stepped back in time. The conversation hadn't changed, the words hadn't changed, and the answers hadn't changed. But somehow I had. When that conversation first happened, I was just beginning to explore the subject. The AI gave me answers, good answers, accurate answers. But reading them again 8 months later felt completely different. Not because the information was better, because my understanding was better. It was as though I had traveled through time from not knowing to understanding. And that realization got me thinking. For more than 20 years, Google changed how we learned. When we didn't know something, we searched for it. We followed links, we compared sources, we read things we weren't looking for, we got distracted, we got lost. Sometimes we ended up learning something completely different than what we set out to find. And somewhere in that messy process, understanding began to form. Not because Google gave us the answer, because we participated in finding it. Today, AI is changing that experience. Instead of searching, we ask. Instead of exploring, we receive. Instead of following a trail, we get a destination. And to be clear, that's an extraordinary achievement. I use AI every day. I believe it's one of the most important technologies of our lifetime. But I wonder if we're beginning to confuse answers with understanding, because they're not the same thing. The answer was sitting in that conversation 8 months ago. I simply wasn't ready to fully understand it. No amount of processing power could change that. No language model could accelerate it. The understanding came later. It came from experience, from reflection, from asking more questions. It came from making mistakes. It came from time. And that's the part that fascinates me, because AI's superpower is speed, and understanding's superpower is time. Those are not the same thing. Right now, you can ask AI almost anything and receive an answer in seconds, sometimes an incredibly good answer. But if you haven't done any of the work required to understand it, what exactly have you gained? You may remember the answer. You may even repeat the answer. But without understanding, you might as well be a parrot. The answer belongs to AI. The understanding belongs to you. Learning has always happened in the space between the question and the answer, the struggle, the uncertainty, the experimentation, the discovery. Those things aren't bugs in the process. They are the process. So perhaps the question isn't whether AI can answer our questions. We already know it can. The real question is whether we're still willing to do the work required to understand the answers. Because in a world where answers arrive instantly, understanding may become more valuable than ever. And unlike information, understanding still refuses to be rushed.